Aye. Hey y'all, welcome back to another stream where we'd start the week with technical difficulties, because of course we do. Something happened to my layouts and things are a little bit wonky, so you'll probably notice that the that some things are a bit different than they were last time I streamed my writing. And it's not too much different, but I think I'm going to use this as an opportunity to revamp things for next month, which I'm going to call Novelty November. Did there? I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that quite yet, but it's I'm trying to get audience participation. Let me think. And then I have to. So anyway, something happened and my layout got all discombobulated. So I'm just waiting for it to essentially normalize. Well, I'm not waiting for it to normalize. I had to do a quick amp on it. And then I guess my audio feels like it's kind of wonky. Like, I don't hear it. I don't have the feedback loop. But the audio mixer for my microphone is off, and I updated some software earlier today, and I think that's what threw that off. Then I just have a few things on the back end here, technology-wise, that's not related to streaming, that I'm having kind of issues with, but you know how it is. Yeah. We are going to go ahead, and today we're doing probably what people dread the most when it comes to writing a story, is the actual editing portion of it. Or I dislike the most, but if I don't do it, it's never going to get done. So what I've decided to do, and if you're here on Saturday or Friday, you'll have already begun this with me. I'm going to highlight the areas that need to be edited. That's kind of like redlining through that. I've got different colors for different things. I'm probably going to be coming back up here to review it. Actually, probably the smartest thing. I don't have to keep scrolling. And then as we go through the story, we'll make small edits if you're there, but otherwise we'll just highlight it and then come back up and edit as needed. And that'll be the first pass, and then subsequent passes will be offline. So and then eventually it will be published to my Ko-fi page. I apologize for that. But what I will say is that so the finished product will be uploaded to my Ko-fi page for purchase. Sorry, I'm closing my eyes, trying to figure out some stimuli. But yeah, the rough draft, so the finished product will be uploaded to the Ko-fi page, probably after Halloween. Or I might hold on to it Halloween. Ooh, that way I can get art. Anyway, but the rough draft will be available through Discord or Ko-fi and Twitch members. It's not uploaded there yet. I just haven't time to set up, but it will be. Promise. Fingers crossed. No, don't fingers crossed. Crisscrossed applesauce. One of those things. But yeah, so that's where you can get your stories. What else? I'll announce more about Novelty November as we get closer to the end of the week. Today we only have about an hour of streaming. I don't want to waste too much time. Just a reminder, we do have more ads because, frankly, I need the revenue. And I also have a Ko-fi page, so if you want to support me, but directly outside of ads, the Ko-fi links are in the descriptions below for both Twitch and YouTube. Otherwise, run ads. If you have Twitch Turbo, great. And thank you. You can also lurk and do all the other YouTube or Twitch to help me out. Well, let's go ahead and get to editing. I think, yeah, we ended on chapter 2 and started chapter 3, but I'm just gonna get real quick. I'm doing some. I don't ask. Said he has. Actually. I'm gonna actually make this continue. Considering can't tell you. Starface. Wait. Yes, ma'am. Hey. Chapter 3. Joe, Emily, Joe, Dennis, all inside Emily's room. Person looking around at fighting? I don't think it's the theory. Actually, common. Took a seat on the bed, bouncing like. Possibly. Oh, the mattress was what was giving her nightmares. Still wasn't really ready. Still wasn't really. Or I mean, ready. Ready to talk about them. At least not. You have the ability to get a new mattress, she asked? That's fair. Not that expensive. Look, probably won't be this weekend though, but it's very hopeful marriage. We'll definitely have one here by the time you come back. Emily felt the corner of her lips tug upward into a smile that she wasn't expecting to share. Sounds like a good idea. The mattress was something that was limited to the room and would follow her to college and beyond. Maybe there was something about it that was causing nightmares. A fist bump or something. It could work. I'm gonna blue because that kind of doesn't jive with her. Oh wait, continue your views. That would be green too. Honey, your idea isn't bad, and I think we should do it regardless, Mary Jo said before looking over at Emily. Still, we have 4 more nights before you go back to your room. I think we should try to figure this out for the intern. The only couch isn't an option, Emily teased with a shrug. Her mother would not allow for that, and was rewarded with a sour look. She already established that her mom doesn't help it at all. Why don't we get a mattress topper from the store? Dennis asked. It'll help cushion the top of the mattress, so we can do that today. That's like a plan, Emily responded with a smile. If this works, it'll be the first house without I'm going to say in her own room. Got it. Alright, her father clapped his hands together. Today on my way back from work, I'll swing by the store and pick one out. Mind you, since it's going to be replacement. By me, Emily answered. Hey, Mary Jo chimed in, her eyes blinking in surprise. You're working today? Sent me a message before I came down for food. Kid's sick and his wife wasn't able to get off the hospital. She would take him half day to make care of him. I think I just added this word. Mary Jo frowned and nodded her understanding. Hope Kyle feels better soon. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Or to start Thanksgiving. Or, Dennis countered, could be very busy and everyone fix their car at the last minute. Hopefully not Mary Jo. Out of the bedroom now that the you start then. Alicia starts at 2, so I plan to stop to be at the shop by 1 so Jim can make it home. Followed his wife out of the room, leaving Emily. Excuse me. Sorry about that. A police sigh escaped her. The mattress topper wasn't quite the same as a new mattress would be, but it would be a promising start, and maybe that would be just enough to stave off the nightmare. She cast a quick glance at the bed. It was made before she left the room, covered with a now slightly wrinkled quilt, white linens. The bed frame was the same. Proud again. How much of a garden princess that made her. I don't know if it actually is like the way that I wrote it, but garden unfortunately has more. As if she was being buried under all that garden soil. Shaking her head, she blinked and was back to normal. Nostalgia and no more. Her green eyes started all over the room, wondering how. It was futile, though. Better than her own anxiety. Well, it was, right? Anxiety? Mattress topper in her bed should be allow her to sleep. Turned down her body and she hugged her. She needed to know what the source of the nightmare was. Could it just be her nightmare? If that was the case, she would. No nightmares followed her into college or beyond. It was just in this moment. It's the contemplativeness that I want here, but I don't want all this oral language. Anyway, another exhale, this time more slow and measured. Emily's lips. If it was anxiety causing the nightmares, and it linked this home and room specifically, she should do her best to alleviate any anxiety. Of course, it didn't help that her parents' friend had that report. Also, her mattress just leaked before night sleep. Emily shook her head. You're overthinking it. Pulling out the luggage. Off along with it. Probably wasn't going to leave the house. I could have left her loungewear on. She decided to visit her old friend. Whole thing. Or if anyone dropped by unannounced, be prepared. Chapter 4. It was a good thing Emily had gotten to bed. Not long after she came downstairs and started breakfast. Knock on the door. Grab that, Mary Jo asked, her arms submerged in a sink full of bubbles and hot water. Sure thing, Emily. Hot water. Emily replied, setting the wash rag down and going to the door. On the other side of the short hallway where the stairs were. I don't like the way that it's worded, but I also like we should probably establish a house. Oh, house. Y'all didn't see anything. I think I'll figure out what I mean. Oh. Rise, and she was able to. Tall young man. Basket full of food. Emily, you're home, he cheered. By dark hair. I'm home? Mom wanted me to deliver some of to help her out with the side. Is that? Nope. Oh. I'm home. My mom wanted me to deliver some of this food to her to help her out with the side of dishes she's making for me. Jill? Mary Jo called from the kitchen. I'm in here. You can come in and drop off the food on the counter, please. Heard her. Emily smiled at her cousin, stepping aside so he could all of the food he was eating. Oh, thanks. He ran back to the house. Left into the large kitchen. Aunt Mary? Jo. she corrected younger members. Still giggling, Emily closed the door after Julio and joined him and his mother in the kitchen when the older woman was still daggers in the kitchen. Sorry, Aunt Mary Jo, he apologized and chuckles. That sounds weird, though. Well, crossed her soapy arms over each other, not minding the mess as she scolded her. Okay. That doesn't sound right. You could always just call me Auntie. Shekel stopped at that comment. Auntie? Nah, that doesn't sound right either. Dismissed the suggestion. Sure I can't say Abuelita? Definitely not. You mean Tia. Mary Jo shook her head at her. Auntie, Abuelita, I don't see the difference. Tia sounds very different than either of those. Yeah. Working. Mary Jo tried to enunciate words, but it fell onto purposefully deaf ears as Julio just shrugged again at his aunt as that he so enjoyed teasing. Emily finally turned her attention to her daughter. Yes? When we see Marie, please let her know that we need to have a discussion about her son using appropriate titles. Referring to Julio's mother. Hear that? Emily grins. Julio frees up at what her mother had just said. Nah, it's all good, Aunt Mary Jo. Auntie, you don't need that, he stammered. Will you be seeing your mom today? Mary Jo asked, back around to finish her. Probably not, he admitted with a shrug. She's doing her own stuff to prepare for tomorrow's meal. You know we're eating at our place, right? The entire family knows that at least 5 times over, Mary Jo said in response. Mama just doesn't want anyone to forget, he defended the question. I know, it's her first time. Host. You ask about the time we hosted. There wasn't even half of the family at that point, and I was a wreck. Ask Emily how I handled it. Julio turned to Emily expectantly, and the young woman just shrugged. I don't remember. I was, I think, 6 at the time? Reason you don't remember, dear. I chimed in. Because you told me to stay in my room until you said I could come out? Indeed. Joe turned back to address Julio. I was so stressed I ended up forgetting half the entrees. Worried about how the house was head. I never hosted after that. Oh. Never knew that, Emily blinked. There, Julio echoed. Code? Is that why you always refuse to host anything? Much. Mary just shrugged and turned back to her dishes. I'll revise that. It's a cute story, but I don't know. Oh, for Twitch users, there's an ad coming up. Just a heads up. Neat freak, Emily commented as she stepped at her cousin, not bothering to lower her voice, since her mother would admit it too. That means presentation comes first, even if she knows that it doesn't have to be. I'll have no problem finding a place for it. It will not be my job to host or make sure anything else gets done. Mama wanted you to cook those side dishes? Asked, confused. Mom really likes my cats. And I am good at more than just cleaning. Mom doesn't need me to do both, I think she... Casseroles are pretty good. But I like the sweet potatoes. Lily and Mary Jo. It was just a what? Oh no. This being, excuse me. Anyone here gets food. Welcome. Old. Starting. Settle down. Like Julio. No, I think she's good. For offering though. Position to get her. How long are you back? The holiday weekend. She's pouring the now warm. Back on Sunday. Hey, your room is anyway, room. Look, sorry to say, but I'm not I could after hard work. Here. Itself is all pretty and stuff, but I had like the scariest dream ever. From some sort of fairy tale horror movie, or into a horror movie. You had a nightmare in my room? Not mad I slept in your room? Surprised. No, Mom and Dad told me earlier too. Kind of not surprised anymore. Emily didn't say it, but she presumed her mom felt the bed would be. I kind of want to hear more about the nightmare you had. Second person who's mentioned chimed in, raising the sink of the soapy water. Almost as weird as your room. It fits though. That much. Something about crosses being there's blood there too. Blood? Get nightmares sometimes too. Thing that someone else gets. Problem, I guess. Or Leo. When I get that sort of stuff, Emily will have the best night of sleep. Bye. A little bit. The wind was blowing gently through the meadow. Emily stood on the peak of what was barely a hill. Green. Very hot. Cool, it was instead reminded Emily of someone breathing on her. She might have been standing in the middle of the field. She closed her eyes to should hot breath. Emily! And Mallory called out. Sorry. Emily, her friend try this again. Emily, her friend Mallory called. Are you ready for... Words were unintelligible. The noise of the car drowned them out. That didn't matter. Emily knew exactly what Mallory was talking about. Alright, how could she have forgotten? We're going to go on to the waterfall. Mallory had always been talking about doing it with her family when she was apparently the hottest day of the year. Mallory offered to take it. Turned around, and back with a clip. I'm ready, she declared and walked a few steps to Mallory's car before finding herself on the passenger side. Great, her red-headed friend chirped. Although the valley had no roads to speak of, Mallory drove through the fields. Emily wondered how many up hills, down hills. There was even a ramp gap that had occurred last time she was here. Well, Emily was scared with Mallory, more concerned what happened to the land they're traveling on. Okay, so we got Mallory making any sort of... Eventually, the duo were parked at the peak of the mountain. Land barely enough to fit the car and the two women on the side of it. Emily was wearing a one-piece black jumpsuit. Mallory was wearing a Victorian blazer. Ready? She asked her friend. Contacts? You said it's fun, right? Emily asked. Yep. Only get to do it once, though. Mallory grinned. That for a full body of water stretched out. Emily ran to the edge of the cliff and Emily ran to the edge of the cliff and peered over, watching further and further away. Come on! She could hear her exuberant friend. Well, if Mallory had done it, there shouldn't be any reason why she couldn't either. Several steps away from the ledge, Emily began to prepare to run. After she pushed off and took 2 steps, she found her feet surrounded by vines. Her body fell forward onto the ground, nowhere near the edge she had been hoping to jump off of. Emily! She could hear her friend calling distantly. Give me a few. Sorry. Give me a few, she replied, turning to the vines off of her legs. No fight in them, and they're easy enough to distance herself from. Pushed herself back up, she turned around and found herself face to face with the wall. Garish orange color. Upon further inspection, however, the wall was not just color, red as well. Back again. Over the rest. All the red splashes were hands. Mostly the size of a child's hand, some larger than even her father's. Our urge to warn her father welled up within her. Path where she knew an airport. Get to her father, everything would be okay. There would not need I don't even know if I can. There should be the word to in there somewhere, but not need be. Not be any need. Alright. Dad, she hollered as she slid down her escape. There soon, don't worry. The airplane, she began to climb branches off of the trees. Would be able to have a clear As she neared the airplane, she began to pull lines away from the trees that surrounded it, and then branches off of the trees so that it would be able to have a clear runway from which it could escape its sylvan garage. And finally, as she strode toward the plane's door, she paused and looked up at the sky. Perfect. No clouds, she observed out loud. Then she continued. Thousands. All of different varieties floated from the mountain upon the blah. Emily sat straight up in bed, flapping, fight off the invisible. Copper didn't work. It was worth a shot. Eyes lingered on her. But when was the last time you went to the doctor? Stuff like this is because it's physical. I don't know the details. I'm also watching someone talk about how physical problems can be ailments like bad dreams or worse. I just thought, if copper didn't work, then maybe. She trailed off with a shrug. Bad thought, Mary Jo chimed in. Already hard at work mixing her daughter as well, or at least a psychiatrist. Crazy mom. Plenty of time since I've started having the nightmare. Turned into herself. Definitely Emily. Get the chance to go visit her? She asked. At least to rule it out. Julio and your friend had nightmares too, Emily countered. He's suffering from the same nightmare-inducing issue. Then he turned his attention to his wife, who had gone back to preparing her meals. Marie, want us over. Asked us to be there by 2. It doesn't give me much time to get all of these in the oven and done, so I'm going to ask you 2 to head over out. I'll bring the pies after they're done. Or, I don't remember her asking us to make pie. I've got to make pie. This time she was the one who expected, even if they don't ask me directly. Don't bring it, everyone will be upset. Suit yourself, he replied with a half shrug. Help you with anything? Half sigh, more out of politeness than anything. Knew what her aunt was. It's why Emily never bothered to offer. That line there. No. I responded with a shake of her head. Got everything covered on this end. If you helped, I'd have to work around you, and that would not be efficient at all. You just relax today. Well, relax for the morning. Sure you get ready to go and be there before 2. Otherwise, Murray will talk my ear off about how slow we are. But you're planning on arriving late. Oh, I'm ready for that conversation. At least if you two show up on time with the dishes. Casseroles have that much to complain about. You say so. Tried to shake her head. No, so. The oven beeped at that moment, letting him know. It was quick. Probably don't need that. As when you're having fun, her daughter teased. It's coffee. Overview that. Speaking of having fun, Dennis stated, dinner started. I'm gonna go work on Betsy, he said, referring to a classic Chevrolet that he had in his garage. We will detail that as being in the back. Relevant later. The piece of junk he found on the side of the road one day. His hobby for the last 10 years. A piece. Emily figured that he should have completed restoration by this point, but she also didn't know exactly what was involved in restoring a car like that, so she could have been overestimating how quickly it would go. How close are you being done? She asked, taking the plate and carrying it over to the sink. Dennis shrugged at the question. No idea. Know what I know. I know. What I know. That was his typical answer for the last couple of years. I asked him about Betsy. Pretty done, aren't you? She accused. Fish brought a snort out of Mary Jo, who was listening. Possibly, but you never know. Veteran stepped out, making his way through the house to the back door, which would take him to the garage. That's that, Mary Jo commented. I've accused him of being done for a while now, and his time with Betsy is alone time for him. Stop him then. Honey, everyone needs alone time sometimes. Wow, that promised. And when he's out there with Betsy, getting his own alone time in, that's often when I can find my own alone time. Daughter. Caught up on so much reality television because of that. Emily laughed. Her dad hated how fake reality television was. Had no problems voicing his complaints when he saw anyone watching it in his household. It had become a secret between the two women that Mary Jo would often sneak segments of episodes while he had to run to the store for something, or had to stay late for work for a few minutes. Like, it's a cute conversation, but again, I don't know if it did. Revise it. Actually, Emily, her mother stated loud. That could be another stated or started. Got an idea for you. What's that? She asked, already starting to fill the sink up so she could help her mom by cleaning the dishes. Go take a nap. Not in your room, for obvious reasons. But my room. Sort of rest before tonight. Family get-togethers are wonderful and draining. Have you falling asleep before we leave? Chuckled out of memory. At least not while you're an adult. I remember you would hide away in someone's room. Fall asleep until we were ready to leave when we were toddlers. How you've changed. Again, cute memory, but I don't think that's... Lies, Emily shrugged. Not sure what else to say as her mother shared those memories with her. Memories she could barely recall herself. They do. A bit of wistfulness in her voice as she allowed those Anyway, appreciate you offering to do the dishes, but let me handle them. You go get some rest. If your father comes in before I see you, I'll let you know that I'll let him know you're napping on our bed. No, Emily stated. And there's that started versus stated thing. I mean, I could always nap on the couch. Upstairs. Shaking her big fail on my end. Emily tugged at the skirt of her dress. She had decided to wear. It wasn't that it was a short dress by any means. She felt like it should be longer. She remembered it being longer, not just barely over her knee. Last wore it? When was the last time she wore a cardigan outfit? Had it really been so long ago? It's 1:30. Hollered his voice breaking the entire house. Let's get going. They stared at. Was Marie or? Emily looked away from her mirror in surprise. She hadn't finished playing, let alone any jewelry. I'm not ready yet, she yelled from her room. You could hear his low-toned rumble of something. Something, I'm not being surprised, followed by a, how long will it take? Jewelry didn't take that long to put on. She knew what she was going to add already. Makeup, if she wanted to do it right, would take long. If she wanted to rush it, it would still take long. 5 or 10 minutes? She yelled back in return. Mother's tone became audible. Emily wasn't able to hear the exact words. She got the sense that her mother was mediating her path. She was saying something like, she could hear her father's grumbling tone respond to her. Not, but the next moment his voice became audible. In 5, with or without you. I like it as a concept. Understood, Emily called down already. She was going to have to rush it after all. When finally was. Father grumbled again. Took you long enough. Nearly the full 5 minutes. I was worried you weren't going to be here. Yep, we are going to repeat that entire paragraph. Sorry, Emily apologized. I wanted to make sure that it looked good. She started for the door. Emily, mother's voice had a commanding presence to it that she rarely had. Caused the young woman to stop in her stride and turn around. Can't go like that. Thrown over coat above a mauve silk. Not! Mary Jo's eyes cut to Dennis, back to Emily. Go upstairs and change. Sure, once you take a look at the dress, you'll understand why I'm saying this. Dennis gave an exasperated sigh and sunk into his seat on the couch. And of course, we're going to end up late, even though we said we wouldn't be. You finished everything on time, too. Not quite understanding what her mother was talking about, and her father not putting up a fight, Emily could only nod and agree. Okay. Would you be okay with us leaving first? Are you ready? Her mother asked, and her eyes cutting over to Dennis' couch. do that, Emily agreed readily. She hated being ever since people who were late always got an earful from the ever you with Marie about too late. Not playing on her lips. Then she turned to me. Hear that? Keep going and not be late. I'm gonna step and let's go. Miss huffed for a moment. Yes, ma'am. He whipped up 3 different dishes, all covered and surrounded by specialized carrying bags, and made his way out of the house, followed by Mary. I have my travel bags. We'll review that. Drive safe, Emily called after them. "Oh dear," Mary Jo responded. In a nice black slacks and tan outfit that's to actually apply making jewelry. It is very important for women, but I don't know if it's important. Emily took a look at the dress she was wearing. The front of it looked fine, but as she spun the fabric around in her hand, the trim bothered her. The back, it had somehow become unstitched, and the hem was uncurled for about half a hand's length. That's probably not gonna do that. What's that? She muttered to herself, before slipping the dress into a pile of clothing she knitted. After double checking to confirm this outfit had no malfunctions, Emily felt prepared to go visit her family and made her way upstairs. Before she could leave, though, she noticed that a cry again where thought overtook her. That Clark guy was a family friend. Maybe one of her parents had him on PC was password protected. Everyone in the household had a password. One. Emily booted the PC, punched in the password, and began searching for the usual messaging. I want to highlight this whole bit because I don't think this bit is even necessary. There he was, only one Clark in the entire list. Down, a message to him. Halfway through, she backspaced all the text and ended up not sending it to Clark. Instead, she picked up her phone and in her digital notepad made note of the name. At least if she got bored during tonight's dinner, she would have to. Kind of the whole point of her cares, though. Is this chapter needed or not? Again, Emily was startled awake from her. We'll do this last chapter, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Not a long stream by any means, but I did want to get it done. Tomorrow, hopefully there won't be any technical issues. Again, Emily was startled awake from her slumber. This time, there was a vampire, a room full of mossy walls, and a child sitting huddled in the middle of the room, staring expectantly. In her panic, she couldn't recall what had happened in the dream that forced her awake. She knew that she was sheathed in sweat and that she was having a difficult time. What is the best phrase? As always, her eyes swept over her room. A few houses down, doing its job to barely illuminate. Her furniture, the luggage, and even her closet doors were all alien. Brighter light visible in her brighter light visible barely. Turning over, she noticed that her phone charger was emitting a dark blue light, an indicator that it was only this dark to avoid eruptions from. Yeah, but I knew I was. Normally this dark to avoid overnight interruptions, while normal sleepers might have a waking moment outside of sleep. Words are hard. If anything was going to prevent Emily from returning, it certainly would not be her phone. At least not while she was living in this household. Curious, she reached over and swiped up on her phone to see her notification was a reply she had been waiting for. Its contents were not quite what she had expected. "I'm sorry, who is this?" was the reply that Emily received. She introduced herself in the first message. She unlocked her phone and scrolled up slightly after downloading adding Clark, using the information she gathered from her family's computer. "Hey, you don't know me. I'm Dennis and Mary Jo's daughter. You said you slept in my room once and had a nightmare. Can you tell me about your nightmare? Is that enough information? Need to prove her identity?" Double check the username she had used on the application. She had her name on it, which she knew was not a safe practice, but she didn't intend to use the application beyond this. With a disappointed sigh, she put her phone aside and thought about laying back down. Alright. And she didn't want to lay back down. She was awake. Nightmare and the phone saw to that. Time on the phone. Well, it was nearly 4 in the morning. It wasn't too terribly early. She could feasibly wake up this early. There was no one around the house or something. Like the or something. At least start a pot of coffee. Too. Probably doesn't need to be there either. Called her device. Allie? As she was getting dressed, she thought about how she would respond to Clark's message. Maybe there really was more than one Clark. They had the other one saved to their computer. That explained the response she got. Still, wouldn't this Clark know that Mary had a daughter? Another question about who she was at that point then. In her tired state, Emily felt a momentary urge to throw a fit. Instead of pulling clothes from a closet, she wanted to rip them all down, bar and all. Instead of keeping her luggage tidy and in a corner, she wanted to rip the zipper under and dump all the clothes she had brought and scatter them across the room. She wanted to wipe her arms across the tops of her dressers and scatter all of the trinkets and makeup boxes that she had meticulously displayed and create a chaotic environment. So that'll require review. That brief moment of allowing anarchy to attempt about flipping her bed on to show how fed up with the damned piece of cake. It's all just a momentary daydream. Emily was not raging throughout her room. She was in the middle of pulling a long-sleeve shirt. Yeah, for some reason, talk that. Interesting. Shudder, Emily shook the entire way and finished getting dressed. She knew that even if she had given in to the desire, she wouldn't be able to do all of that. Trying not to pull down the closet. I don't like the word bar there. I don't know why. Closet bar or flip her bed over. Maybe tossing her clothing around and ruining items on top of her dressers. Sure. Still, she didn't want to do that. Mostly because there was no real reason to. What she accomplished by doing all of that? All of that. Harshly, she had to admit. Harshly, she had to admit that the measuring mess would be so bad, cleaning it up was going to be a pain. I don't want to have to deal with it. Messing it up. It does. I'm gonna back down to her bed. She picked up the phone again. Just in case something caught her eye. Going to eventually put on a pot of coffee, but if she starts going to likely wake up. She did not want to do that. Notification about Black Friday sales were popping up all over her device. If they weren't from applications or online stores that she had regularly used or visited, it was from the navigation page that recommended updated information. Emily scrolled through the handful of those. There wasn't any particular need of anything that Black Friday deals could come by. She knew that sometimes unexpected deals came out of nowhere. Emily? A tired voice that came from the other side of her closed door shocked the young woman, causing her to jump and the phone out of her hands. You okay? Her mother's voice came again. Yeah, Emily coughed as she stood up and opened the door to find her mother, wrapped in a royal purple robe and standing. Plus the light was on and wanted to make sure Mary just stayed. Just another nightmare, she said, almost. I decided to stay up this time on the phone. Paused and then tilted her head questioningly. Are you up? She chuckled and shook her head in dismay. Don't get old. I swear that last. Troubles? Something like that. Don't worry. It'll back on the dairy in my old age. She just doesn't need to talk about that in her old self-depreciating laugh. Okay. Said, trailing off, not exactly sure how to carry on. Noticing her daughter's reluctance to carry on the conversation. Yeah, that's. Well, I'm glad that you're okay. Let's just check in. Probably you or anything. You're fine, Mom. Back to bed. Coffee in an hour. Mother gave her a half smile. Bed. I'll go make some coffee. Come down when you're ready. Lynn looked between herself, already dressed for the morning, and her mother, who was only wearing her robe with the night. How about we do the reverse? I'll make a pot in a few minutes. Mary Jo chuckled tiredly. Energy already drained from her voice, she turned and walked down the hallway back to the room she shared with Dennis. Upstairs. Crouched down to pick up her phone. Excuse me. As she was reaching toward her, it was relatively open, plastic totes that housed some of her childhood belongings. Everything else was open air or dusty carpet. Another brief moment of nostalgia came over her. Emily remembered the day she desk. You could fit a desk in there. The items on those bookshelves, books, packages, there's a couple of toys. Other items you couldn't at this point are all tucked away in those totes. Maybe later in the day she'll playing. Now she coffee. That's right. Always fulfill your mother or the promise to your mother. Coffee. Alright guys. It is after 4, so it is time to wrap up. Tomorrow it will be a longer stream. But either way, I am going to go ahead and wrap it up now. For those on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe, do the YouTube things. Directly, we do have the Ko-fi page where there's various ways where you can support donations. And for the Twitch team, also support me through Ko-fi. You can also follow if you haven't followed already. And then when the stream wraps up, goes to the offline screen, there should be a 3-minute ad that plays. Please stick around for the ad. That helps me generate ad revenue, which helps me in the long run. Alright guys, again, thank you so much, and have yourselves a great rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow.